Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be going over should you use the Switch N64 controller for Mario Kart World. And in short, my recommendation is just to keep using whatever you're using currently. If that's all you came for the video for, I hope you have a great night. If you want to learn why that's my recommendation, I'm going to go over it right now. So first, as you can see, I'm an expert N64 controller user. I've used many different types of sticks for different reasons, and I'll go over the problems with this stick. In relation specifically to Mario Kart World, I think the stick is fantastic, but there are problems. So the first one, the N64 controller for the Switch comes with a built-in rumble pack, which is phenomenal, amazing. I'm so glad they thought of it, but it doesn't work for Switch games. This thing doesn't do anything in Mario Kart World. And I think you're missing out on a whole ton of fun when you're just driving along and you hit something, something hits you, the guy next to you blows up. The rumble kicks in on your controllers, and you know, like maybe it's only on the right side, so you know something's to the right of you. It's a really good rumble system, and I think the game is much better when played with the rumble. And you just get none of it on the N64 controller, so I think you're missing out. The second thing this controller cannot do is turn around in the car and look behind you. So I know not everybody uses this function, but a lot of people like to use it. They want to see, is a green shell coming up behind me? How far away am I from the person behind me? You know, like, oh, there's a red shell indicator. Is it right next to me? Is it not? I turn around and look. Because you might have some item that you can use to work with it, right? You might be sitting there and saying, what is behind me? I want to look around. There is no input for that on this controller. You can press D-pad down to do the rewind function, so we know that there is some crossover of functions, of like new things in the game, right? But D-pad left, up, and right don't do anything. Why don't they just make D-pad up? Look behind you. I mean, I know I just recently got this controller. I know a lot of people have complained that the mapping doesn't work for most Switch games, which I think is really unfortunate. But the thing is, they just released an update where you can remap your controller. Yes! Oh, yes! It doesn't work on Switch games, though. You can only do it in the online and remap the buttons. You can't just do it for Mario Kart to add, can I turn around, you know? The C buttons, you know, they move the camera, so they have a function. A is go, B is stop, R is drift, Z and L are shoot an item. So, you know, they got some of the normal functions going. It's great. But why are we missing rumble? Why can we not turn around? I think those are huge blows to the game. The second thing is I think that the controller is built too well. Okay? In terms of this, I think there are some problems with how long this controller is going to last. The buttons feel immaculate. You know, you got to like press harder. The button pads feel maybe a bit raised. When you press the D-pad, there is no mush. You hear this? Like it's actually not a separate button, but the whole D-pad doesn't shift over. Do I have one? Yeah, so like this one, it's not really that bad, honestly, but you know, it's like this thing is shifting. Again, like this one's totally fine, but there are some when it gets older, when you press left, it'll actually just press up with it, or it'll press down because it's so mushy, right? And the manufacturing on the original controllers wasn't that great. You know, the A button, sometimes you're like, ugh, did the A actually input? I don't know, I gotta push harder, right? Because your A button, that's the most pressed button on the controller. Like, what's going on? The Z button even feels great, better, which is surprising because the original Z button is fantastic. The stick is incredibly tense. The what's it called? A wind back, snap back is going to be massive on this controller. It feels great. You know, it's got notches and all that. I just gotta go slower because I'm using my index finger. But it's got notches, and it's a new controller, so it's, you know, got a little bit of grease on it. The bowl and the nub at the bottom of the stick have not worn out at all. It feels fantastic. But what I'll say is, I think it's just too much. When I'm playing Mario Kart, I just want to hold A. I really want the easiest experience. And right here, this little button, boom. You can probably tell, but barely. I just want to press A the smallest amount and just go. I don't want to have to like hold A real hard and then my thumb feels weird if I'm playing for a couple hours because I'm like, you know, it's really not that bad. I'm kind of over-exaggerating, but I think it does matter. I just want an easy experience when I'm playing Mario Kart. I'm not playing GoldenEye. I'm not playing Zelda. I'm not playing Star Fox, okay? I don't need the most crazy inputs. What I need is to do this. Boom. The smallest amount of input just to turn right, right? Whereas with how great an N64 controller is, you have to press it a lot, and with the amount of tension that's on this stick, again, it'll last forever, but it's a little bit just too much for Mario Kart. These Joy-Con 2s are the most buttery, smooth stick I've ever felt. Again, these are about a week old, so they're still really new. This controller is, you know, a day old. Really nothing much. But I just want a light commitment way to play the game. That's what I'm looking for. You know, when you're using an older controller, like here's just a random green controller. Oh wait, no, but actually this has a GameCube stick in it, so it's not just a normal one. But right, like you just want. Let's just pick a better one. Let's pick this guy. You know, like that's fine. I don't need a perfect stick that's incredibly tense. I just need something that's easy to press. And these buttons, actually these buttons feel pretty good. Because these are some of my better controllers. But even if it's a mushy A button, I just need to hold A down. Every controller can just hold A down. Now pressing A a lot, you know, sometimes there's a problem. But just holding A, I need mush. I want mush. I want low commitment because I'm holding that thing down the whole time, the whole race. I'm not letting go of it. Every race I'm holding it down. I want something so simple. Okay, so that's about the controller. The last thing is, again, this thing has a rumble pack. That's great. But it adds a lot of weight to the controller, and I'm really confused about it. When I hold up just like a default controller, and I hold this up, this is heavier. It has no cord, which I guess the cord isn't very heavy anyway, but it's like, this feels maybe 50, 60, 65% as heavy as the Nintendo Switch N64 controller. And I think that's a problem, because if you're holding this thing for hours, why would you want something that's heavier? I just want the lightest thing possible to play the game. That's one of the things I love. The original N64 controller is so ergonomic. You just sit here and you're holding it. Some people hold it like this. Some people hold it like this, like really far down. It's hard, the camera's looking up. But it feels so comfortable to hold. I mean, pressing this R button, this is the GOAT controller. One of the reasons is this R button. Different sized hands can press this R button very comfortably. But this thing is really heavy. I don't know why. I'm sitting there and I'm trying to make sure it doesn't like fall out of my hands in front of me. I'm not used to using the rumble pack personally, so maybe it's just something I have to get used to. But it feels like the weight distribution is a little thrown off, and if I have to press the buttons down harder while I'm pushing the controller down while holding it up, it feels a little weird to me. I don't know why it's so heavy. You know, most of this controller is just a shell, right? Just a bunch of plastic outlining a motherboard, and then you have this rumble pack that weighs it down a lot. You would think with you know, today's technology that it could have made it lightweight, right? These two Joy-Cons together are lighter than the N64 controller. How is that? I don't really get that. But again, this thing probably better built to last than the original N64 controller. The stick feels better. The buttons feel better. Even the Z button. You would think, like, how can you make the Z button better? It's already great. Well, it's just slightly, bigger. You gotta press a little bit more, but it feels still great to use. And these things, I don't think they're gonna get mashy. I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, I actually started the game. I did something. So that is the video about should you use the Nintendo Switch version of the N64 controller for Mario Kart World. Maybe the video is a bit twice as long as it should have been, but I hope you enjoyed the examples, and I hope you learned something.